talking to the Quran, when the words spoke back. What if the Quran could talk back to you? What if every verse you opened answered the questions you never spoke aloud? This is the story of a man who lost everything, until one night the Quran spoke to him, not through sound, not through dreams, but through the heart. Indeed, I am near, 2:186. Title screen, talking to the Quran, when the words spoke back. He sat in the silence of his apartment, the faint hum of the city echoing like a heartbeat beneath the still air. It was past midnight. The room was dim except for the weak light of his phone screen, where his thumb hovered over an app he had downloaded weeks ago but never opened, the Holy Quran. His name was Imran. Once, his faith had been unshakable. His mother used to say, "The Quran is not a book. It's a voice that speaks when your heart is quiet enough to listen." But that was before the storm, before he lost everything, his father in an accident, his job, and slowly his peace. That night, grief felt heavier than the city's darkness. He pressed his palms into his face, whispering, "Ya Allah, why do I feel so empty? Why do you stay silent when I need you most?" And then, without really deciding to, he opened the Quran app. The verse that appeared first wasn't random. It was from Surah Al-Baqarah. "And when my servants ask you concerning me, indeed I am near. I respond to the invocation of a supplicant when he calls upon me." 2:186. For a moment, he froze. His breath caught. The verse felt alive, as though it had been waiting patiently for this exact hour, this exact pain. He read it again, then again. Something stirred in him, like a small flame flickering in the dark. He whispered into the stillness, "Are you really near?" And then something extraordinary happened. He didn't hear a voice from the room. He didn't see light or shadow move. But within his chest, as real as his own thoughts, came a response. Calm, gentle, yet it wasn't his own. "Did you not call upon me just now, Imran?" He gasped. His eyes darted around the room. The sound wasn't external, it was within. A presence, subtle but vast, echoing like ripples in his soul. He whispered, trembling, Who are you?" And the voice replied, "I am the reminder that you've ignored, the light you've hidden behind your screen, the comfort you replaced with noise. I am the Quran, the word you were meant to hear, not just read." His heart pounded. His skin prickled. "The Quran? But how? You asked for an answer, and here I am." You were searching the world for meaning while your meaning lay in verses you never opened. Imran felt tears sting his eyes. "I don't deserve to talk to the Quran," he whispered. "I abandoned it. I was never angry." The voice replied softly, "I was patient. You buried me under distractions, yet I waited in silence for the moment your heart would tire of everything else." The room seemed to breathe with him now. Every verse he read shimmered with depth. He turned to Surah Ash-Shar. "Did we not expand your breast for you and remove from you your burden, which had weighed upon your back?" He felt it, the expansion, the release, like invisible hands lifting something heavy from his chest. "Ya Allah," he whispered, "how can a book feel alive?" "Because it was never written by human hands," the voice replied. "Each word carries divine breath. You are not talking to pages. You are listening to eternity." Imran stood and walked toward his small balcony. The city lights glowed below, distant and silent. The moon hung pale and soft, like a witness. He said aloud, "I've been chasing success, love, everything but you. And still I felt nothing. Because everything fades, came the response. But I was sent so your heart could return to what never fades." He remembered his mother's voice, her wrinkled hands turning the pages every morning. She used to tell him, "The Quran doesn't need you to understand Arabic first. Just listen with your soul, and it will translate itself." And now it was happening. The next verse that appeared was from Surah Ar-8. "Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." He laughed softly, tears falling freely. "Rest," he repeated. "That's what I was looking for all along." He stayed up all night reading, but it no longer felt like reading. It felt like a conversation. Every verse seemed to respond directly to his thoughts. When he doubted, it reassured him. When he felt guilt, it consoled him. When he asked why, it whispered trust. At dawn, he heard the adhan echoing from a distant masjid. The muezzin's voice carried across the city, trembling through the morning fog. For the first time in years, Imran fell to his knees in sujud. His forehead touched the ground, and the tears wouldn't stop. He whispered, "I thought I lost you, ya Rab." "I was never lost," came the whisper in his heart. "You just stopped looking." He stayed like that until sunrise. When he rose, the Quran app was still open. The verse on the screen read, "So remember me, I will remember you." 2:152. He smiled, feeling an invisible warmth surround him. Not from the sun, but from something unseen, something that had always been near. Days turned into weeks, and that night changed everything. Imran began waking before far, sitting with the Quran open on his lap, not to read fast, not to finish pages, but to listen. He'd whisper his doubts, and verses would answer them. When he feared the future, he'd hear, "And whoever puts their trust in Allah, He will suffice them." When he regretted his past, the words replied, "Despair not of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins." He started walking differently, speaking differently. People noticed peace in his eyes. Even his colleagues, who once mocked his silence, began to ask, "What changed in you?" He would simply smile and say, "I started talking to the Quran, and it talked back." But one evening, something mysterious happened again. He was walking home when he saw a young man sitting on the roadside, head in hands, crying. His phone screen glowed beside him. The same Quran app open, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 286. Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. Imran stopped. He didn't know the man, but the moment mirrored his own night months ago. He knelt beside him and said gently, "It's talking to you, isn't it?" The young man looked up, startled. "You can hear it too?" Imran smiled softly. "Yes, but only when the heart is ready to listen." The boy stared at the verse, tears streaming down. "I was about to give up, but this feels like it's speaking right to me." Imran placed a hand on his shoulder. "That's how Allah calls us back, through his words." He walked away afterward, under the fading sunset, feeling something profound, as if the Quran was now speaking through him to others. That night, he opened it again before sleep. The verse that appeared read, "And this is a blessed book which we have revealed, so follow it and be righteous, that you may receive mercy." 6:155. He whispered, "I will, ya Rab." And as he closed his eyes, a quiet presence whispered within him once more, "You are never alone as long as you listen." In that moment, he realized something eternal. That talking to the Quran wasn't a miracle given to him alone. It was always there for every soul willing to silence the world and open its heart. Because the Quran never stopped speaking. We just stopped listening. If you've ever felt lost, open the Quran. Don't rush. Don't scroll. Just listen, and you'll realize it's been talking to you all along. Join us at Deeninminute, where hearts awaken, verses breathe, and faith returns home. Subscribe, share, and let someone else hear what the Quran is whispering to you tonight.